everyone. Judge Andrew Napolitano here for Judging Freedom. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Professor Jeffery Sachs will be with us in just a moment. I'm going to ask him if he thinks that Donald Trump really wants peace. And then there's that problem about the leaked intelligence information about bombing the Houthis. Don't worry about it. Just blame Biden. At least that's what the Secretary of Defense is recorded as having said. Professor Sachs, welcome here, and thank you very much for your time. Does this group, the Houthis, pose any threat to the national security of the United States?
Well, no major threat. They do attack shipping lines in the Red Sea region. Their declaration aligned with the resistance in Palestine, and they've been attacking ships. Is this a major security threat to the United States? No, of course not.
And what is accomplished
the ostensible reason for the attack, I think was said, if I heard correctly, and I am halfway around the world in China right now, but was to warn the Iranians. So this was another proxy of a proxy war. So it's a group in the White House deciding, let's bomb some people to send a message. This was not about fundamental U.S. national security.
And is there any military benefit to the United States by doing this? I assume none.
I think the key for me is very basic. We've discussed it repeatedly. The war in the Middle East will continue. It will spread. It's in Gaza. It's in the West Bank. It's in Lebanon. It's in Syria. It's in Yemen. It will spread as long as there is no resolution of the terrible injustice in Palestine.
Right.
The whole idea is that Israel illegally and unjustly and murderously occupies Palestinian land. It leads to resistance. In response to the resistance, Netanyahu declares war on basically the entire Middle East and most of the rest of the world these days, including, I should mention, American universities. So he's at war because anybody, any force, any group that opposes Israel's brutality in Palestine is then an object of the Israeli war machine. The sad part is we are the Israeli war machine. Israel runs the U.S. government, runs the White House, runs that group that was intercepted or caught in communication by the Atlantic magazine reporter. They're run by Israel. They're serving Israel. They're doing this for Israel. And that means that the United States is in war in places it shouldn't be in. No, we should not be in war.
So we're spending our money
in Yemen,
for Israel.
For
Figure
heaven's
that one
sake. We shouldn't be in war in Syria, in Libya,
because 93% of
Lebanon.
Congress is owned by
in all of these
the
places.
Zionists.
We have a group, an amateur hour in the White House deciding where to bomb, but they're doing it for Israel's behest, not for American interest or American security. It's absolutely amazing. They basically said so in the discussion. I think there's another thing I would say about all of this. We are, not only is it amateur hour, not only is it Israel hour nonstop, just everything for what the Israeli government wants. But it's as if we have essentially one-person rule. Congress is upset about the security breach. Well, that's understandable. But they're not upset about the fact that the president declares war when that is a constitutional responsibility of Congress. They're not upset when the president sets our tax rates personally by decree, because tariffs are taxes, and the U.S. Constitution says that's the responsibility of the U.S. Congress, but Congress doesn't care. We have one-person rule right now, whether it's war, whether it's the economy, and it's a bit of an amateur hour in addition to all of that.
I mean, according to the transcript of this conversation, a texting conversation, a texting thread that went on for a while that was leaked to the, or it wasn't leaked to him, he was inadvertently or intentionally, I don't know how, included in the link, the editor of the Atlantic. The Secretary of Defense said, "No one knows who the Houthis are. Don't worry about it. Just say Biden failed and Iran funded it." Well, this is not a strategy of the Secretary of Defense. This is a PR strategy, which is basically propaganda.
Our whole government.
It did sound like a high schoolish conversation at that point.
It was, and they were saying, should we bomb them? No, I vote yes, I vote no. It's like a locker room talk, like a bunch of kids getting together about war. No declaration of war, no
bunch of kids.
Explanation to the public whatsoever.
Young, dumb,
no
and full of
explanation
cum.
to the
Sorry,
public
the
about
expression,
the
folks.
breach
That's
of
why they're
security,
pedophilia
but
rings.
no explanation to the
All
public more
ties back to
fundamentally
Zionism.
about war. And Congress, again, dead, useless,
Well, not only-
absolutely not interested in doing anything about their actual job.
You're right. But not only is Congress dead,
I like to use the word, they've been paid, they were bribed. They've been taking the money from the honey bucket, i.e. the Zionist machine, for how long? For how long? Well, they killed Kennedy. So from Kennedy on, they've been influencing our politicians. They own them. When Trump got first elected, we already knew who he was. He's the representative of the Zionist mission. But for some reason, we didn't want to talk about that then. And now they're trying to silence anybody that says Zionism or any anti-Semitic. It's, oh my God, you're attacking us with names. Remember that thing, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me? Well, golly gee, these are sensitive young little punks running our government. And they're running it with arrogance, and they're getting paid well. And they see victory. Yeah, they want to have victory. It's the Trump New World Order and the Netanyahu New World Order. So the only way out of this is to eliminate the risk. What's coming next? It'll shock the shit out of this Republican administration. I'm not threatening anything. I'm just reading the tea leaves. What's coming, folks? It's called Judgment Day. And you know, some of these Christians will lay down and say, yes, we're dying for Jesus. No, you're dying for Zionism. And Jesus said a few quick little things like, thou shalt not kill, judge not thy fellow man, and hey, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Try that for rationale to keep the world in line. This is the Conscious Hour.